Operation Confidence proudly presents America's Invisible Heroes Talk Radio Show. Tune in weekly on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time with your host, Consuelo Mackey. Co-host, Air Force veteran Matt Davidson. Announcers, Taylor Marcella and Brooke Gadesi. U.S. Army veteran and entertainment segment host, Charles Whitehead. U.S. Army veteran and strategies for host segment host, Dr. Kathy Cash. U.S. Army veteran and lifeline for women veterans segment host, Martha Elena Varela. National Director of Faith Services, chaplain, and Veterans in Recovery segment host, Anthony Acampora. And U.S. Air Force veteran and Incarcerated to Success segment host, Kevin Lewandowski. For more information or to be a guest on our show, email info@operationconfidence.org.
Operation Confidence, America's invisible hero, invisible hero.
Operation Confidence is a grassroots nonprofit. The organization's mission is to provide stable housing for veterans who have experienced homelessness, as well as providing a wide range of supportive services. To help accomplish our goal, a successful landowner has donated land for the project, a world-renowned architect has offered to design the houses, and construction classes from the local community colleges will take part in building the houses. Your support and donations are needed. To get involved, please visit our website at www.operationconfidence.org or email info@operationconfidence.com.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for tuning in to America's Invisible Heroes, a show that is dedicated to our veterans and their families. Yes, I'm your host, Consuelo Mackey, Executive Director of a nonprofit organization called Operation Confidence. No, I'm not a veteran, but my heart goes out to our American heroes, especially those who have a disability and have experienced homelessness. Now, as mentioned, I haven't mentioned that yet. This show was established for our veterans to share their experiences, heartfelt stories, resources, and challenges. Now, board member Charles Whitehead, who's usually our co-host and announcer, is in the hospital, but he's going to call in after Dr. Cash says a prayer for him and for all of us. Go take it away, Dr. Cash.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Shall we bow our heads? Father God, how we say thank you for another opportunity to put on the platform a veteran organization. But Lord, we know that the power that veterans have, we know the things and the struggles that we go through, and we just thank you for allowing us to come together to provide resources and information to our fellow veterans. And we lift up our co-host, Charles Whitehead. We lift him up to you right now, for Lord, as he is going through his health challenges, his trials and tribulations in the hospital, we know that you are still in control. So we lift him up to you in your name, and we pray for his continued healing and his comfort during this time. We thank you for everyone who is participating in our show on today. We thank you for all of the co-hosts. But Lord, we have a heart to continue to share in our mission to educate and inform our fellow veterans. We thank you and we praise you for this opportunity in your mighty matchless name. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen. Okay, Charles, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, well, we know you're still in the hospital, but you'll be out soon.
Oh yeah, I'm over here at Kaiser Resort right now. I'm having a good old time.
Yeah, with all the doctors and the nurses and stuff, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm over here entertaining the folks here. I'm the entertainment host, so I'm having a good time. Everything is okay. I had a surgery. If you guys don't know, I broke my femur 3 weeks ago, and I had to have a rod inserted into it, and so I'm over here everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
Had a couple little complicated, simple things that happened, but I'm fine. I'll be here another day, and then I'm going home. But I just want to call in and say, hey, thanks. I missed the show. Sorry I can't, be there, but I'm here, and and I thank you for the prayers and all, and it's just good, So, and I know you got a bunch of guests today, and I'm sorry I can't help there, but I'll be back, and
yeah, you will.
I'll be back soon, But I'm over here just recuperating and taking it easy. So,
well, thank you so much.
God is good, and I'm blessed, and I'm in no pain, so that's a great thing. So
that's right. Yeah. Well, we miss you, my friend, and thank you so much for calling in. And we're going to see you and have a speedy recovery and get out soon. You get out tomorrow, you say, right?
And you guys have a great show, and I'll be back. Before you know it, I'll be back soon.
There you go.
And thank you, Dr. Cash, and all, and I'll look forward to seeing all you guys. I'll see the show later on. You guys enjoy yourselves and have fun now.
Okay. Thank you, love.
All right. You take care.
You do the show.
That's right. It's all laid back. We don't have to follow any format.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Just do what you do, and have a great time. And I'll be back soon. And,
thank you.
For your prayers and thoughts, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye. Take care.
Okay, Dr. Cash, we're going to let you take it away from this point on with your amazing guests.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. I am Dr. Kathy Cash, a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a certified peer support specialist. I am a pastor with experience in pastoral counseling and just a certified wellness recovery action plan facilitator. I do all I can to support my fellow veterans and the community at large. I recently retired from the West Los Angeles VA, and I am very passionate about making sure that my fellow veterans are getting the information that they need. I provide support, and it starts with the listening ear. And I am pleased to have with us today the Veterans Art Project. I have 3, maybe 4. We're trying to get the 4th one on the phone. But I have these amazing veterans who are part of the Veteran Art Project. And I'm going to read a little bit about each one of them and then have them share their story. Right. Because we all have a story. And their story revolves around how impactful art has been in their lives. They may share where they came from to where they are now. But I'll introduce them with what I have and then give them an opportunity to share about themselves. So we're going to start with Mr. Reginald Green. He was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. He's a 15-year medically retired Navy veteran and that was stationed in San Diego, California, most of his enlistment. Reggie got into art to heal, explore his creativity, and to do something positive and productive to shift his focus off his highly debilitating migraine headaches, anxiety, depression, and lower back pain that he acquired from his active duty service. Reggie got involved with recreational therapy program at the VA Medical Center in La Jolla, California, where he was introduced to arts and crafts. He began participating in the local veteran art shows, submitting the art that he created from therapy, and realized that he was getting some recognition for his work. He later discovered the Veterans Art Project, Vet Art, at one of the art shows and decided to become a participant and volunteer. He also volunteered at Casa de Moro Museum and learned a lot of history from Professor Chuck Ambers, the owner and facilitator of the museum. Reggie took it upon himself to learn the basic of modeling, painting, sculpting, and starts to express himself and create art utilizing influences from Egyptian, Moorish, Malayan, African, and other ancient civilizations and cultures learned about from the museum, history books, and the internet. Reggie stated that when I create art, it allows me to get lost in the process and takes my mind off pain. After volunteering for a year and a half with the organization, showing his dedication, willingness, passion for art, and helping veterans, he was hired as a vet art instructor and teaching classes at the Aspire Center, the VA Medical Center in La Jolla, and the Vet Art School of Foundry in Fallbrook, California. He is currently still affiliated with Vet Art and recently started his own LLC, Reggie's World of Fine Art. Reggie is still living in San Diego and is working out the Vet Art School of Ceramic and Glass Studio in Vista, California. So welcome to the show, Reggie.
Welcome.
Hello, thank you.
So do you want to share? I read quite a bit of your bio. Is there a story that you want to share out of that lets your listeners know that how you created, how you're connected to vet art?
You pretty much read everything in the bio that explained everything, but Vet Art has opened up a great deal of opportunities for me to showcase my art, and art's been really therapeutic for me.
Right.
My mind off of pain. So I think that we need more programs like this around the world to help veterans do something positive and give them a creative outlet.
Reggie, do you have any of your work to show today?
I have a lot at the studio. I have a pendant that I made recently.
Oh boy.
So
That's
I
gorgeous.
have
Can you bring that up a little closer?
let's see if you can see.
And what is that made out of?
So this is ceramic. So I'm working on a Native American series right now. I'm part Blackfoot Indian, so I wanted to represent some of my ancestry, and I like doing a lot of ancient civilization type art as well. So a lot of stuff that I learned at the African Latin Museum, I try to incorporate stuff like that in my art and give some historic elements in my work as well.
That's lovely. Where are the Blackfoot Indians from?
I can't tell you.
Okay.
You put me on the spot, but it's okay. I was always told my great grandmother was actually an Indian chief, and I remember I only met her a couple of times. I remember
Oh wow.
wavy hair, and she was kind of mean, but when I just wanted to do a Native American series because I don't think they're represented as much.
That's right. I'm what is that? New Orleans, the Chickasaw tribe from New Orleans, and that's an amazing tribe as well. And they were there doing a lot of wonderful stuff there. I just wanted to share that with you all. Is that's New Orleans. Well, keep up the good work with your art, and you do ceramics. And what else did she say?
I've done bronze work, glass work, and ceramics. Our facility shut down doing the bronzes due to the lack of funding. So we do ceramics and glass now. So hopefully we keep getting funding and donations for our program to keep that going and get more veterans involved.
That'd be beautiful. Dr. Cash, you have to invite him back again so he can show some of his work.
Yes, definitely would like to see all of this work because this is some fantastic work. I had an opportunity to see some of it when Vet Art was on the USS Iowa, right before the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
That was an awesome art show. And then to hear the stories about those who created the art, it's just phenomenal.
Sounds amazing.
So that's our first guest, Reggie. So next we have Aaron Toole. Born in Charleston, South Carolina in 1970, he joined the Marine Corps in 1989. deployed with 1st Marine Division in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, Gulf War I. He was a Marine embassy guard in Rome and Paris and was honorably discharged as a sergeant after just over 5 years of active duty. Aaron has made and given away more than 25,000 cups since 2001. His work is heavily influenced by his time in the Marine Corps and the strange ways military and civilian cultures collude and collide. All right now. Toole received his BFA from the University of Southern California in 2000 and MFA from UC Berkeley in 2005. Toole is a senior laboratory mechanic and sometimes teaches in the Department of Art Practice at UC Berkeley. He has received the United States Artist Grant. Toole has worked in museums nationally, including the Smithsonian Rockwood Museum. He has shown and done residency across the US, China, Vietnam, France, and Germany. Aaron, welcome to Operation Confidence, America's Invisible Heroes.
Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. I just make cups, is all. Say that. This one, like they're saying, just keep going, right? This one broke and I just glued it back together, but it's kind of fitting post-traumatic stress or, post-traumatic growth, right? Anyway, I just make cups. And, I started initially, I just want to talk about my experience in the 91 Gulf War, coming home and seeing, my gas mask as a toy, or movies about my war that were really kind of off. But now, since the war is like pretty much like the first show I had in Los Angeles, the guy said, I'm going to give you this show even though your work isn't relevant to anything that's going on in Los Angeles. And the show opened the month after 9/11. And people, I had 1,000 cups with military images and letters that I'd sent to the Pentagon and White House. And people were like, oh my God, your work is so timely. And I was like, I was talking about the Gulf War 10 years ago, but it'll be about the next war too. And unfortunately, that came to pass. And for the next 20 years, we were at war. So again, it started with just me talking about my own issues, but now it overlaps with younger. And, my dad was a Vietnam vet. My granddad was World War II, making cups for them. And then, making cups for the younger folks coming back. And again, like, I think, the focus on veterans, I think, is important, but I think what's special about veterans is we come from all different walks of life, all different parts of the country. And, they shave our heads and they put us in the funny uniform. And then it really is like as close as you can be to like being judged by the content of your character. When you take everything else away, it's just really who you are as an individual, and who you are as part of the team. And so I think that's a really important thing. People say they care about veterans. Well, they got to care about the communities they come from too, and I think that's an important thing. So if we can deal with our stuff, then we can bring it back to our communities and help them deal, because trauma is not, it happens outside of the military also, and people don't, I don't think they recognize the trauma. So it's unrecognized, untreated. And then a lot of people, men specifically, I think, act out in a way, and then it gets celebrated as being masculine, drinking hard or fighting hard or something, but it's celebrated and not seen as a symptom of a bigger issue. Anyway, so the hope is that in the art, in the art making, we can talk about these things that don't come up in polite conversation, but aren't necessarily, only military.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Wonderful. And to be told that your art is not relevant, that had to make you feel a certain kind of way.
Well, but I mean, I think, right, like, I'm not an artist, I'm a veteran artist, right? She's a female artist, right? It's only like the straight white guy who's making work for the straight, rich white community. That's art, right? And everything else is veterans art or Black art or Hispanic art or queer art or so I kind of take that, the whole one true art world thing, I just kind of take that with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not interested in them, so it's fair if they're not interested in me, like I want to make art for my community to share with the people that I love and respect. And I don't think the Kardashians are going to get it, so it's not my problem.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And you're still working with your artwork, right? Your cups. Are they
Yeah,
going?
no, this summer I went to Indiana and did 3 workshops there in Des Moines. Des Moines, Iowa. Did 3 workshops in Des Moines, did a workshop in Philadelphia with about well, I made about 200 cups, but 700 people came through. And
Wow.
then another thing in New Jersey, working with vets and making, so, you know, I make cups and, you know, for vets, they bring their insignia and things and I'll make molds of those and then give them their cups back.
Oh, wonderful.
And that's nice. I mean, as an object maker, you want your stuff to be appreciated, but they kind of get adopted into the families, you know, and then when the vet passes, the rest of the family takes care of the cup, you know,
Oh, yeah. The keepsake.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations on what you're doing.
Uh,
How long you been doing it? You said, I'm sorry.
Seriously, 22 years.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And are your cups, they're not in any stores or anything, right? Or any better?
No, I don't. I mean, I know that people have taken them from fundraisers, like charity events, and put them on eBay, but I haven't seen anybody sell them. Like, they want too much money for them, and you know, it takes me a while to get the cups to people, but you know, that's the thing is, like, this woman was saying she wanted a cup for her father, or for her husband, and she said, "Oh, I'll pay any price," and I'm like, your husband 2 tours in Vietnam, has 2 Purple Hearts. Like, I think he paid for his cup. Like,
exactly. Wow.
You know, clay is cheap. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't cost that much to make and fire. The biggest cost is shipping and you know, and just logistics of keeping track of requests but whatever. I mean, I get more out of it, I think, than I give, for sure.
Yeah, it's very therapeutic.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely talk about the healing aspect of art.
But I mean, it's the community thing, I think, over everything else, you know, and finding a way to communicate your experiences and share it, you know, and have somebody look at your stuff and be like, "Oh yeah, I get that." You know, so you don't feel so crazy and so alone, you know, like that's what talking about post-traumatic stress disorder, like, what disorder? That is a rational response to the trauma you've been through. It's not, you know, it's more scary if you weren't upset by the things you've seen.
Wow, yes. Well, thank you so much. And again, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Our third guest, Tanya Savis. Did I mess up your name?
You muted, Tanya.
You got the last name correct, and it's actually Tonya, but throughout my whole military career, people have called me Tanya, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I know it's Tonya, so it doesn't even matter anymore. But I get corrected on that. I was like, no, tell them your name is Tonya.
Yes.
So it's actually Tonya, but I'm okay with Tanya, but it's Tonya.
Okay. Tonya Savis. This is Tonya. She is a medically retired Air Force disabled veteran serving 10 years. She serves as the Director of Veteran Advocacy for the Veterans Art Project, which is Vet Art. She's a certified peer support specialist, a QPR suicide gatekeeper, and founder, executive director of her nonprofit, spreadlovethrougharts.org. She also advocates for women veterans' health issues. She suffered in silence for decades while dealing with PTSD, just post-traumatic stress disorder, and MST, just military sexual trauma, anxiety, and chronic pain, which was most of her military career. As a source of comfort and peace, art was useful to take the focus of the triggers and the constant pain that she was in. Tonya states that art helps to relax her mind and take her away from the negative headspace that comes from her symptoms. She loves creating anything using different mediums with hearts, roses, crosses, and butterflies, as that is part of her healing journey. Tonya started attending vet art after her art sessions at the La Jolla VA ended. During COVID, she started volunteering at vet art to keep the studio in compliance with recent health concerns. She was always very outspoken and passionate about better health conditions. After seeing what art was doing for her mental wealth and learning the concerns others had, she approached the director, Steve Dilly, about becoming an advocate for vet art. She advocates for art as a modality to mental wealth every opportunity she gets. Mental wealth. This has allowed her to speak on several panels and platforms, such as the Kelly Clarkson Show Salute to Veterans in 2022, National Council on Education for the Ceramic Arts in 2022, Comic-Con in 2022, IVP, which is Intimate Partner Violence in the Military for the University of Arizona, also in 2022, and Marine Corps Recruit Depot Sexual Assault Awareness Proclamation signing in April of 2023. Through her own challenges, she has been moved to advocate for women's health issues and abuse. She has mentored and encouraged other women to help bring out their creative skills and start living their best lives now. She lives by the motto that what happened to her does not define who she is. Instead, it has empowered her to be resilient and become stronger. This, with the encouragement and support from Vet Arts Director Steve Dilly, has motivated her to start her own nonprofit, spreadlovethrougharts.org, where she continues to encourage and support women to blossom using art and empower them to build and strengthen their ecosystem of support. You can follow her on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Tonya, welcome to Operation
welcome.
Confidence, America's Invisible Heroes.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So happy to have you here.
Yes, it's good to be here. Consuela, I heard you mention New Orleans. I'm actually born and raised New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh my goodness, I hear that accent too.
Yes. Cherokee and Chittamachi, Native American in our family. Yes.
Wow. Do you cook any of that good food?
I love to cook the good food, but don't get it twisted. I do not like spicy food.
Oh, neither do I. And they can really pile it on, can't they?
I do not like spicy food at all. As a matter of fact, I just came back from a family reunion, and 2, 3, and 5-year-olds put me to shame eating spicy crawfish.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that's not good for you though at that age.
Yes.
But I love, and crawfish, I just love that crawfish.
It's good. It's
that corn on the cob, you know.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, you one of the girls there from New Orleans.
Yes.
Well, do you have any artwork to show us today?
Well, I don't have any artwork to show because, like Erin, the pieces that I create, I give them away.
Okay.
I like to bless other people with my pieces to help encourage them. And I started selling a few pieces, and then I was like, no, the blessing comes when I give it away.
That's
and
right.
Just to see the expressions on their face when I give away the pieces, you know, that just excites me. So not only does it empower me, but it empowers them.
Oh, how wonderful.
You know, and I agree with what everyone was saying, because the time you put into doing your work, you know, it's
right.
The value could be out there. But people that are looking at my pieces, because I go into the local community and serve the community, and I'm not in the Hollywood community. So if I was to put a true value on my pieces, you know, they wouldn't be able to afford them. So that's why I like to give them away. However, that's going to be changing from the encouragement of some of my own mentors. Saying I should put a value to what I do. So I'm still debating about that, but you can check out my pieces. If you go to the vetart.org website, we have pop-ups that we do throughout the state of California, and some of my pieces are on the shows that's on YouTube. But also, you're going to be seeing a lot of more of my pieces on my webpage, Spread Love Through Arts. I'm not a tech-savvy person, so just bear with me with the Instagram and Facebook and all of that. I am trying to learn, but that is not my genre. That's not my lane, but I'm trying to get in that lane so I won't get left behind.
That's right. By the time you go to sleep and wake up, it's a whole new technology.
Everything done changed. Everything done changed.
A lot of the work that I do, I like to make it engaging for the people
Mhm.
that come to the shows, because I would like people to express how they feel.
Sure.
When they see art, how does it make you feel?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I create my art, it's not necessarily for someone else to like. It's to help me in my healing journey.
Okay, yeah, it is very therapeutic. I love art as well, and do
Yeah.
some painting myself and
Yes.
some fashion design. So,
I deal with chronic pain every day.
oh, really?
So I have to do things to create, to get my mind off the pain. Now,
Mhm.
it's not that the pain is not there, but
Right.
when I'm creating, it takes my mind off the pain
Exactly. Yeah.
and the anxiety that's associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can go to a pop-up event. We have one coming up in August in Santa Cruz, and I could be in a lot of pain, but I choose to go because I could stay home and live in that pain and take medication, or I can
Right.
get on the road and have fun in that pain.
There you go.
So I choose. When you're dealing with trauma or pain or any type of anxiety, is a daily choice that we have to make
That's right.
to continue to want to move forward. And
Mhm.
I choose to move forward. And unfortunately, throughout my military experience, it hasn't always been that way. That's what also encouraged me to start my nonprofit, because as women, there's this old song that's out called "I'm Not Your Superwoman," you know,
Okay.
where women can do it all. But in
Right.
reality, we can't. You know, we struggle in silence so often
That's right.
because we're so used to carrying everybody else forward that we
Mhm.
don't take that time for self-care.
Yeah.
Right.
And after 30 years of struggling with the VA, walking my journey of healing, you know, I realized that I'm just tired of existing. I want to live
There you go.
full, thrust, packed full, and joyful life.
That's right. Because it only come this way
Yes.
once.
So
Mhm.
I can still do that in pain, you know, and
That's right.
have fun doing it. And I saw that other women were still struggling,
Mhm.
you know, unfortunately not getting the things. Forget about the things that we want, getting the things that we need, the basic necessities that we need. I mean,
Right.
I can still go to the VA and they ask me for my husband's social security number.
Really?
In this day and
Yes,
time,
yes,
what's your husband's last four?
yes,
Well,
yes.
I can give you my last four if you would like them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a struggle that we have to deal with daily,
Right.
but we have to make that conscious choice to want to move forward if we want to live a thriving life.
That's
So
right.
that's what I do. I get the encouragement, you know, from other people in my space, you know, that, like Erin said, we are veterans who happen to be artists.
There you go.
And I get the encouragement from them. I get the encouragement from watching what they do, for being in a safe environment. The Vet Art Studio is my home away from home.
Right.
That's my safe environment. Sometimes my dad would call me and I was like, Dad, I don't have time for that. This is my safe space. Don't build my anxiety up, because this is my safe space
Right.
to get done what I need to get done to help me, just to be able to live, you know, and thrive in life and not just exist.
Well, you all got to come back with some photos at least. You know?
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We would definitely be back. Kathy,
Oh,
when are you going to have us
sure.
back?
Yes,
In
you will be
a couple
back.
of
You'll be
months?
back because
Yeah.
there's so
You know,
much.
There's so many stories
You
by
all have a
other
wealth of.
veterans that you can hear. There's some of how vet art has helped impact their lives.
Yeah.
Moving forward, you know.
That's what we want to see.
Yes, definitely.
You have beautiful stories, but we want to see your work. You know,
Yes.
it's so encouraging.
There's stories behind the art.
Exactly. Well, congratulations, what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Actually, congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
Very impressive. And there's some videos, huh, Dr. Cash?
Yes. I have the video of Tonya when she was on the Kelly Clarkson show.
Okay.
I'm trying to pull that up. But meanwhile, while I'm trying to get that up. How did Vet Art actually come into existence? I know you said Steve Dilly was the founder.
Yes. Actually, Steve is not a veteran. But you know what? When I tell people when a veteran is suffering, their family is suffering. When the family suffers, the community suffers. So it's your whole ecosystem. And even though Steve is not a veteran, his parents were. So he's in the ring. I tell him he cannot get away from us that easy.
Well, I come from a veteran family too, so I do know.
Yes.
You know.
But I'm going to give you the words out of Steve Dilly's mouth.
Okay.
Vet Art came about by a deeply seated belief of artistic responsibility that allows our community here in San Diego. The many beliefs of a creative space for veterans, spouses, dependent, caregivers, and active duty personnel to create a space to become a part of the larger community. This perspective was intended to provide instruction, facilities, materials, and community. We have a 5,000 square studio in Vista, California, and it's free.
Wow.
How awesome is that? All we have to do is bring ourselves and create. And then it builds that camaraderie, you know, of people, that fellowship of people. The second Friday of every month, we have an open house raku. And we had about, Reggie, about 50 to 60 people that showed up. You know, just food, fellowship, and putting some ceramics in the fire.
What's a raku to us non-vets?
Would you like to share that, Aaron? I don't want to do all the talking.
Yeah, raku is just a process. You fire up the kiln to about 1,945 degrees Fahrenheit, and then open the kiln and pull the work out and put it into a container with combustible material. And then there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of fuel, but not enough oxygen. So the glazes, they're usually copper bearing glazes that'll pull the oxygen out of the glaze and turn it from like blue-green to like a metallic or red. And so then like the way the flame goes up the side of the piece will leave marks, and then wherever it's unexposed clay, it turns black. It's just we call it like a gateway drug for the arts, you know, because it's so exciting opening the kiln that hot and putting it into the combustible, those big flames, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And you said it was 50 to 60 people came out?
Yes. It is the second Friday of every month. So y'all have to come and join us next month, August.
Yeah. And give us the location again.
Vista, California.
Okay, and give us an address.
2422 Cades Way. We actually had a few people that come from Los Angeles area that came Friday.
Really?
In Orange County. It's just a fun atmosphere. You have to be there to experience it for yourself so you can say, yes, I'm coming back.
Right.
You know,
and can non-veterans participate?
Oh, yes, because we open it to the community, because the non-veterans is part of our ecosystem. You know, so we hate for things. So I may bring my +1, you know, and that might be my girlfriend who's not a veteran.
Right.
You know, so
that builds that support.
Yes.
That builds that support.
That's
one thing that we learn in terms of supporting a veteran, you have to also take care of the family and the friends, their community. Because you're teaching their community how to engage and interact with the veteran. So you can't just tell the veteran how to get over your trauma and then set them back in the midst of the family who doesn't understand.
That's true.
So you bring in the whole community, that person's whole community involved. It goes back to that proverb, it takes a village.
That's
so
right.
It takes a village.
And if you want to participate, can you bring your artwork with you? Oh, how's that done? Well, I mean, say for instance, if you know, like ceramic painting, or acrylic painting, or oils, do you bring your own supplies, or how does that work?
The studio is mainly a ceramic and glass studio.
Oh, is it? Okay.
However, I have a friend that comes, and sometimes she just doodles. You know,
Oh,
she's a painter, and she may work on her canvases.
right,
So,
right. That's what I meant.
yes. So it's also about building that camaraderie.
Okay.
You know,
Sounds
so
fun.
yes. So if you don't want to work on ceramics, you know, Reggie gets on my case a lot because he say, "What are you working on?" Because I'm so busy chit chatting. So I go a lot for the fellowship.
Right,
To take
right.
me out of home where I'm isolated.
That's
When I'm by
right.
myself. So I like to go a lot just to talk to people, see what other people are doing, and
Mhm.
you know, not even work on anything. And then Reggie reminds me, we got a show coming up, get to work. So I get to work, you know. So the support is there, the encouragement is there. But if you wanted to come and just, you know, create something else, you know, work on something else, you can do that. It's a very
Okay.
open, friendly studio for those things.
That is so cool. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to come and visit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do that.
Mhm.
I'm gonna play this from Kelly Clarkson show. It's about 5 minutes.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get some volume here.
Being creative helps us all heal. Our next guest fully agrees. That's why he launched a special program in San Diego that gives veterans the opportunity to lose themselves in creating art, even if just for a little while. From Vet Art, let's welcome Steve Dilley and one of the veterans who takes part in the program, Tonya. Give it up. So, Steve, can you kind of explain more about like what Vet Art offers?
You know, we're really fortunate. I live in San Diego. Not only do we have a great, you know, climate, but we have a lot of military personnel in town. We have a 5,000 square foot industrial building. It's set up specifically as an art space. So we really offer wellness in community based around creative expression. And all of our classes are free for all of our participants.
Wow, that last part is amazing for them. So what kind of change have you seen with the vets, like after they've, you know, worked with you?
You know, we do see them. They come in. Tanya is a good example of one of our great participants. But a change is people come in and they start working together and they start accessing a form of creativity. Maybe they had something about their earlier life that they were creative. They're thinking about art again. And I think the most transformational opportunity that we see with our veterans is the spouse comes in after the veteran's been working for 2 or 3 months and they say, "What'd you do to my husband?" Or "What'd you do to my spouse?"
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big change. And what happens is the spouse goes, "I don't know what happened, but for the last 12 years of my marriage, my husband wouldn't say more than pass the salt at dinner. And he's been here for about 3 months, and last weekend we had dinner and he spoke for 5 hours and he shared about his childhood and who he served with and what he did in the service. And most importantly, it gives me insight on how to be present for him and how to assist him." So, you know, I, as an artist, I'm not a veteran. I just choose to work with veterans as a means to wellness. But there's something connected there about access to nonverbal means of communication and how that opens up pathways, you know, so.
Absolutely. Art is so vital. So, Tonya, how did you get involved in the Vet Art project?
Well, I was in the Air Force for 10.5 years.
Thank you, first of all.
You're welcome.
And that's also real badass.
Yes.
It's a chick in the Air Force. I think that's real cool.
And I suffered with chronic pain for about 8 of those years. And then I was diagnosed with PTSD stemming from military sexual trauma.
Oh.
You know, so I got put on medication. And they put me in a very dark place, a very dark place, to the point where my nieces that I used to care for, you know, told me that I was just totally knocked out. And I realized that I had to find another means. You know, so I got involved in landscaping and gardening.
I love gardening.
Yes, therapeutic.
It is.
Digging in the clay.
I mean,
digging
different
in that
experience, but
dirt.
even like going through a divorce, like I've started like really getting into like planting and everything. It's healing, like
Yes,
having
it
your
is.
hands in that dirt.
And that's why I found it very therapeutic.
Yeah. So how have you changed since you first started at Vet Art?
Well, I'm an introvert, despite what people think, you know, because I'm loud. I can hang with most of them, but I'm really an introvert. And I was a little bit to myself. But then the instructors just made me feel comfortable. You know, they didn't judge me on what I was doing. They just let me be me and create.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is that I will go into the studio and I will be in a lot of pain, you know, from my knee injury. And then I would leave it in the studio. The military has a thing called the pain scale, from 1 to 10. I would go in the studio as a 9. And some days I would walk out as an 8. Some days I would walk out as a 5.
That's
But
amazing.
I started to realize it was the art that was helping me heal. So I want to continue to encourage people just to be positive and find what in them can help them heal instead of going to medication or, unfortunately, I'm a survivor of suicide. I've attempted twice and thank God, it didn't work. I'm still here.
But what a testimony you have to people that might have those same thoughts or experiences at this place. Yeah,
get into art. What is it? Music, ceramics, painting. What is it that can help heal your heart? Take it out of your heart, put it in your mind, and put it on paper. Put it in your hands.
Yeah.
That's why I like working with the clay. So my goal is to, I'm working on my nonprofit, Spread Love Through Arts.
Yeah.
And just encourage other people just to get involved in the arts.
It's so important. Well, clearly that art is making a big difference in people's lives, and we want to help them continue. So, Steve, that's why we are donating $5,000 to the program to help out.
Look at that.
We love what you're doing. Thank you so much, Steve and Tonya. We need some commercials, but thank you so much for sharing. It's a beautiful thing, and you probably affected someone at home today. So that's if you reach one person, I've been told since I was a kid, that's what matters.
All right, there you go.
That was that.
Wasn't that great?
Yes, all right.
Tanya, you were so articulate, and
Thank you.
very engaging. That's so cool. And we got a chance to see your artwork.
A few pieces, yes. Actually, the cross that had the stones in, I donated that to, there's a retreat in Idlewild for women veterans called Return to Yourself.
Oh,
and I donated
wow.
that piece to them. Mary Morris, she's the founding director, and she fell in love with the piece. And I was going to sell it, and I was like, no, she does a lot to help other women veterans. So I just told her, I said, this piece is yours.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yes.
Beautiful. Wonderful interview.
And I tell people, tell their truth. It's not my truth. It's not Reggie's truth. It's not everyone's truth. Tell your own truth, because we all have a different truth. And when you tell your truth from your heart, people know it.
That's right. That's right. Congratulations.
Does Vet Art collaborate with any other organizations? Does anybody?
Oh.
Did anyone hear her question?
It kind of went out, so I didn't hear.
So does Vet Art collaborate with any other organizations in terms of mental wealth for veterans?
Resounding Joy, which is a music therapy organization, and they do a lot of drum circles with us at our pop-up art cafes.
Oh, that's cute.
Okay, so tell us about the pop-up art campaigns.
So that's basically, we have a few destinations that we go across California, and we advocate for veterans, and we get to show and display our art. And we let people know more about vet art, and let people know how art is healing, and try to get more veterans involved.
And we actually have a statewide innovative funding program that we do with MASAC, that's Mental Health Services Oversight and Accountability Commission. And they actually provide the funding for us to continue to do the pop-up cafes that we do throughout California. Because vet art, even though you heard Steve Dilly say that it's free, but it costs money to run the program. So we get a lot of our funding from grants and philanthropists that may donate money to help vet art continue.
Beautiful.
MASAC has been a huge help. This was a 3-year innovative program. We're coming to the end of our 3rd year, and in October the 17th, we will have all the artists that have participated in the pop-ups. We will have another large event with about 50 different artists that will be at the state capitol on October the 17th of this year.
Okay.
And then we look into regenerate, another innovative funding to keep the pop-ups going.
That's so
But
cool.
hands out to Masak. Thank you, Masak.
All right. That is
Right.
awesome. That is awesome. How do you all as veteran artists, how do you encourage other artists or other veterans who may not know they're artists? How do you encourage them to try this out?
We just
The
tell them to come.
workshops we do that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Jesse.
Oh, we just tell them to come to the studio and come experience doing art, because some people come there and they're a little hesitant on creating stuff, saying that they never did art before. But once they get their hands on the clay or see other people and get other ideas and stuff, they enjoy it, and some just keep coming back, just like me. Like I didn't know that people were gonna want to buy my art or get so many compliments for my work, but I just knew that it was helping me heal, and it gave me a creative outlet, so I just continued to go, and now I'm hooked. So
Do you live in the community there as well, or you drive in from LA or wherever?
I live about an hour away, but I drive down there like 3-4 times a week.
Oh,
But
goodness.
I love it, so
Right. You don't care how far it is.
yeah, I
Okay.
was trying
Awesome.
that when we had our bronzing facility, working with bronze. So, this is less of a distance. So, it works for me, and
Right.
I think I can stop doing art. So
And as Erin was about to mention, we also have workshops. We have Darren and Ivan who do workshops at the Chula Vista Vet Center. And we also have Steve do workshops at the studio in Vista with the USO has come to do events. We have people from organizations from Camp Pendleton that come and do events. We had a sorority that came there to do an event. So we reach out and engage with the community in the local areas. Reggie and I participated with the Marine Corps Depot, where there was a painting event. And we have another one scheduled in September. And we just do workshop and events with any communities that would allow us. I did an event at the Vista Library and has some scheduled in the future at different libraries. So we just keep putting the word out what Vet Art does, because we want it to be a community engagement.
Yeah, describe what you do at the library.
I have my piece that I do. It's called Heart from the Art. And I'm also into wood. I love, I'm just so excited. My friend has an epilogue laser, and I love to create pieces and just watch this machine just put a masterpiece out. And I usually have anywhere from 5 to 13 layers of wood pieces that I attach to each other. And what I did is I love to do my heart pieces because, as I mentioned before, that's part of my healing journey. So I have all different sizes of heart pieces and just have people create, what's in their heart. I like going to sip and paint classes, but what I like is when you let the participant or the individual create their own thing.
Yeah.
So I give them the different pieces of hearts, and I have bling, different types of paint that they can create their own. So each one is different and unique to them. So I call it Creative Expressions, Heart from the Art. And I'm going to be doing that with Marine Corps Depot in September also, for domestic violence course.
And speaking of the paint and sip, or sip and paint, or snack and paint, Phyllis told me to tell you hi.
Yes. I look forward to seeing
I was thinking about her. Yeah.
Yes.
How's she doing, Dr.
She's going to be in our pop-up that's going to be coming up in LA in September. Phyllis will be there.
Okay.
All right. She was a guest on the show a couple of times. She's wonderful. And her work is beautiful as well. Okay.
And so for each one of you to answer, this is a question for each one, just what you think, and your own personal thoughts. It may or may not fall in line with what Steve is going to do, but what would you like to see? What are some of your future plans or aspirations for vet art in line with what you do, in line with the mission statement, in line with supporting your fellow veterans?
I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, making cups. You know, the vet art, actually, I've been doing it for, I don't know, 12 years or more on campus. There was a suicide on campus years ago. A vet did 2 tours in Afghanistan and accidentally shot himself in the head.
Oh,
And so I reached out to the veteran group on campus at the time, and they were having a bunch of like mental health and wellness people kind of descend on them, and people stopped showing up to the meetings and stuff because it wasn't fun anymore. But we started hosting a tailgate at the art department's right below the Coliseum there on campus. And so we just host a tailgate, and I make cups and they decorate cups, and we can check in on each other. And now we've been doing it so long that even like vets from UCLA or Stanford or Oregon, when they're playing at Cal, they'll come find the vets and they'll tailgate with us. But it's just like a low, you know, and we did a thing for the Black student vets and the law student vets, and just a little hangout. It's, it seems like a dumb little nothing thing, but just a way to check in on each other on a kind of low stress, not like, are you okay? Are you taking your meds? Just like hang out, just again for community but yeah, I don't see that ever stopping for me, money or not.
right.
Okay. Reggie?
Yeah, I would just like to see more like vet art expanding, have more locations, have more places where veterans can go and create art. I feel like eventually my art's gonna catch on, and that'll bring attention to me, but I can also bring attention to vet art as well. And people can find my art on original_Reggie's art on Instagram. So
Okay. Repeat that for us, Reggie.
original_Reggie's art.
Reggie's art. Okay. And you have a website as well?
I don't have a website right now. Right now, I just use Instagram. All my pieces are original. Like I got the pendants, over 200 and something pendants. Each one of them are different. So, if people get artwork from me, they're going to have a unique piece.
Great. And what about you, Anya?
What I would like to see because I'm about the community, I would like to see different things featured at vet art. Like someone asked me about a painting class, and someone also asked me about doing one of my wood classes, and I also do leather work. Someone asked about doing one of those. And since I'm an upcoming nonprofit, Spread Love Through Arts, as I continue to get more funds in, then I would like to offer these classes for free and do these classes in the studios. We have the ceramics, we have the glass. Bruce does wood on his own, but expand the opportunity to be able to do different things with more funding in the vet art studio, because it is a nice large studio, and we have the space and we have the capacity with the people there that do so many different things to do other things in the studio, and also take what we do, like Reggie said, outside of that studio. We have a new innovative concept paper that we're working on, and with the right funding, we could be doing pop-ups. California is big enough. Southern California is big enough. However, we could have vet art mini pop-ups throughout the US.
That's right.
And internationally. Veterans are everywhere.
That's right.
And veterans are still suffering in silence.
And how would one get in touch with you? I know she had mentioned in your presentation, but
through my webpage is Spread Love Through THRU-arts.org, or they can also reach me at vetart.org. As I mentioned earlier, I am on Facebook and I do have an Instagram, but my niece would tell me I need to get working. But I'm working on my Instagram, but I can be reached at spreadlovethroughArts.org or vetart.org. And come check us out at the pop-ups. The next one we have is going to be the 4th of August in Santa Cruz. And then we're going to be in LA and Sonoma, and the state capital October the 17th. And come hear the stories behind the art. It will amaze you.
Oh,
Wow.
That's so amazing.
We would love to have Operation Confidence come and set up a table.
Heck yeah, I would love that too.
Let's talk after this is over with.
Okay.
October the 17th.
Yeah, I love art, you know?
Yes.
And how you pronounce your name? Aaron?
Aaron,
Yeah. How would one get in touch with you?
Yeah, don't get in touch with me. I got too much stuff going on.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not trying to sell stuff, you know. I'm not, so
yeah.
I don't have a website. But if you can spell my name, you can find me. There's all kinds of junk out there.
Okay, great.
Aaron is a quiet giant.
You can kind of tell.
He's amazing.
Some of that all your work behind you?
I'm in my studio right now. Yeah, that's inspiration stuff mostly.
Yeah, that's so cool. All right. Dr. Cash, you have any more questions? And there was 2 more other videos you didn't show.
Let me see, which was the other one? There was the Kelly Clarkson. And okay, let me put this one up. Okay, let's see.
Good afternoon. My name is Tonya Service, and I'm a United States Air Force disabled veteran. I suffered in silence for many years, dealing with my military sexual trauma, my PTSD, my chronic pain, and my anxiety. My chronic pain was so bad that I attempted suicide twice. I just had a bad day. My pain was on a scale from 1 to 10. It was a 15. Because I really felt like I was gonna die. It was a moment. I took some pain medication, that didn't help. I took another prescribed medication, that didn't help. And I took a third. I was out for 3 days, I was told. Realized something had to give. Fast forward in my life, I'm still dealing with my chronic pain. And I went to this organization called the Veterans Art Project. And I started to listen to the stories of the men, especially the women, that were struggling with their anxiety. Got involved with the Veterans Art Project. Steve, being the wonderful person he is, he says, okay, why don't you start it? So I started doing my research, I did my homework, and I said, Steve, I'm ready to be the advocate for the Veterans Art Project. And it was that simple. Okay, you were probably wondering, what does an advocate do? Well, I will tell you what I do. First, let me tell you what I did a week ago. Me and a few other people from the Veterans Art Project went up to Sacramento, and we went to the Capitol, and we talked to representatives about what we need in the art industry. There's funding that needs to be done. There are organizations that need to understand that yes, we are veterans, but we need more than just the care that we get at the VA. We need art. Why art? Because art is that new modality to mental wellness, to our mental wealth, besides prescription drugs. Art therapy is great. Any type of therapy is great. But normally the therapy may last through sessions 8 to 12 weeks. Art will catapult us into the future. The new tool we have right in our hands is called art. And we just need funding. We need philanthropists. We need organizations. We need grantors to be able to continue to supply us with great things that we already have in our hands. Our hands is the tools that we use the art with. Whether or not we do poetry, whether it's gardening, whether it's ceramics, spoken words, music, it's all healing to the mind. We take what we have in our heart and we process it through our brain, through some form of art, and it gives us a thriving lifestyle. We don't just exist when we create art, we thrive, we live, we become part of the community, we gain back our ecosystem. You take a veteran that's isolated and give them a paintbrush and just watch their mind explode. So that's why I would continue to advocate for art as the new modality to mental wealth. And I don't just say mental health, I say mental wealth. We talk about financial wealth, we talk about physical wealth, we don't talk about mental wealth. We all thrive off of good mental wealth. Please, please, please keep the funding open. And what you can do for us, you advocate to your congressmen, to your local representatives, and let them know how much funding is needed for the arts.
All right.
Hey, you're a great motivational speaker, girlfriend.
Thank you.
You get the point across.
Thank you.
That was a beautiful video. Okay.
Uh-oh.
I was able to spend 15 minutes filling out a questionnaire, spending a very low one-time
So the last one,
fee, and I had the website of my dreams.
let's see this here. Okay, I think I sent you duplicates,
Okay.
but it was everything that we've seen, everything that we've heard, has just been so monumental in sharing about the veteran art world and vet art. Okay, I have one more here. Let me get this one up. There. Oh. And I love technology.
Oh, you don't have to enroll to each other.
Natural tendency
Okay,
to isolate
here we go.
past deployment because they don't have the same community. They don't have the same camaraderie. And isolation brings a host of bad decisions. And I always felt it was my artistic responsibility to help veterans who are struggling in their transition. The Veterans Art Project offers free art classes to veterans, active duty spouses, dependents, their caregivers, and the community so they can find out the best version of what they can become.
I got out the Navy with no real direction. I was suffering from migraines, headaches, and depression. When I went to vet art, I knew that this was like a positive thing. It distracts my mind from thinking about the pain, and that's what made me continue to go.
I can come here if I'm upset, irritated, just having a bad, boring day, and I have yet to leave vet art without feeling better.
The Veterans Art Project offers many different classes, from painting to drawing, 3D design, ceramics, both hand building and wheel throwing, and glass casting. In our 5,000 square foot studio in Vista, California, with full access for our participants, materials, workspace, and equipment that you can make almost anything out of ceramics and glass with.
I have no background really in art, but some of the veterans here have showed me what to do, and they teach me every day I come in, somebody tells me something new. So I enjoy coming here, and I get inspired by them too.
All the veterans here, their art is so unique, but then at the same time we connect with our art and we don't even need to say what it means because we already know.
When people are connected to community, they are no longer isolated. It breaks down the barrier to care, and there's a whole wealth of positive health outcomes that start from that component.
I think I started about 5 years ago. It was shortly after my son had passed. It just devastated me. So I was going to the VA, and I came across a brochure, and it says bronze face. I says, I think I like that, let me see. And I produced this guy. And then I said, I gotta do my son. I just gotta do my son. And it was like as if he was still a baby and I was dressing him up. Every time I was touching him, I was fulfilled because I was close to him.
Through art, many people find a voice that they didn't realize was their own. We are offering expanded access to verbal language, but it comes from a nonverbal means of communication.
I found that I'm attracted to working on trees because it's not a perfectly straight form. It's got things that have happened to it. It's had to weather life, but they set roots and they just keep growing and they transform themselves.
You know, you have veterans that have gone through so much and they just express what they've gone through their art. So take the time and come hear the story behind the art, especially since we're going to be doing the pop-ups that Masak has sponsored us with. They're going to be live all over California.
The Pop-Up Art Cafe is really a celebration, and it has hands-on demonstrations and exhibits, and the artists who make the work are on hand to interact with any participant that shows up.
You get to watch the people come and admire your work and talking to you, and you get to engage with them. It's a great feeling.
We invite behavioral health boards to speak about their programs so that the veteran participants from that county know programs that are available for them. But it doesn't stop there, because there's an opportunity there to get the reinforcement of what they're doing through their hard work, because it resonates with other people.
I found a way to suit my mind. That's what I got out of the whole thing. And that is worth more than any value of a statue that I could make.
That art has helped me find my voice. I am not what happened to me. I'm more than what happened to me. And I'm starting to express that more and more each day.
I felt like I was drowning, and art has really brought me back to life.
If you go to vetart.org, you can sign up for a class, you can volunteer, you can bring your skill set to our organization, you can donate. It's an opportunity to change lives through art. Maybe the life you change is your own.
All right.
All right.
It was amazing. Congratulations. All right. And I seen each one of our guests had a little part in there. That's so wonderful. Well, okay, so we're winding down now, Dr. Cash, right? Or you muted?
Yes, ma'am. We are winding down. Had such a great time today. Have great guests.
Oh God, yeah.
Some fascinating and wonderful stories on how art has helped them as veterans.
Mm-hmm. And Operation Confidence wants to find a way of collaborating with Vet Art too, so we can share what we're doing and see how we can entangle that all together. So I'll be reaching out to you, and hopefully we'll be able to do something together. We have a pretty big project we're working on, and we'd love to incorporate Vet Art. But I want to thank you all so much. It's been such an honor. And yeah, we're gonna have to drive out there and get involved for sure.
Yes.
But keep us posted, and of course, you're always welcome to come back. You just got to come back.
Yes.
So we continue sharing what you're doing, because it's been such an honor.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. Okay, so we're going to wind it down now. Before I close the show, I would like to encourage our viewers and our listeners that Operation Conference has an amazing resource page that we want to put vet arts on there as well. So visit our website at www.operationconference.org. And also we'd like to inform our everyone about Operation Conference Positive Redirection Team, which is a group of male and female veterans who are mentors and have overcome similar challenges and situations transitioning back into mainstream society. So get connected and get involved with that. We encourage you to go to our website. Send us an email at info@operationconference.org. And please don't forget to subscribe to America's Invisible Heroes on our own YouTube channel. To date, we have over 143,000 views, and we're just glad that we're moving up each day. We want to encourage you to please subscribe. And last but not least, we want to let our viewers and listeners know that Operation Confidence is streaming on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, as well as Amazon, iHeart, Radio, Stitcher, and Instagram, and we have our own Operation Confidence blog. So please tune in with us next week. And again, once again, we want to thank Dr. Cash for her amazing guest. We can't thank you enough. And we want to invite everyone to look at us and take a look at what we're doing and come back next week. We want to thank you all, and bye.
Bye. Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you. We're trying. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.